Hey guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but breaking news. Apparently, Daybreak has sued the Hero's Journey emulating server, which I'm sure most of you watching are aware of, and if not, it's another emulated server, multi-class server. You can make one character with up to 3 classes, and you can solo a lot of content that you would otherwise would need a raid for. Anyway, they're suing it, and it's not looking good since THJ was not only taking donations, but they were taking donations for in-game items and services. So that's a big legal loophole there. But even without that, my limited understanding of law, although my father's a lawyer, I'm not, right? I did take the LSAT. Anyway, that's a long story. But my idea is that even if they didn't take any money, if Daybreak decided to shut them down simply based on the fact that they think that they're taking too many players from their services, nothing that anybody could do about that since it's all of their copyrighted material. So, that being said, I can't imagine that Daybreak would do this just to THJ, but allow the other emulated servers to continue. I mean, that's a big move to file a lawsuit, and you got to have a business intent behind that. And the business intent, I'm sure, is to funnel more players to your paid services. And I don't know why they would only shut down one emulator and not as many as they could, if that's the business course of action that they're taking. So as of right now, Quarm has shut down, pending the lawsuit being finished or pending an agreement with Daybreak to allow us to continue. Secrets seems to feel that that's a long shot. I could try to find the message for you. Let me see. I mean, all of this is just popping off right now, and it's hard to keep track because things are moving so fast. Um, but here we go. Um, Secret says, I really hope some sort of agreement to operate could be worked out between us and Daybreak. That's a pipe dream, to be honest. I love the game and the franchise. So that's basically what the discussion's coming down to. She has decided to close Quarm down until a solution. Let's see what else is going on in here. Let's get to the. I'm not seeing any more pitching in by Secrets herself. It's more just people talking about what happened. Let me see if I can find the juicy stuff. We got Secrets saying, what's strange? Wouldn't they just file all at once against all interested parties? I feel like if Quarm isn't being targeted now, it probably isn't being targeted at all. Beyond that, if there is something to target here, closing down now can't really help, can it? What's done is done in a sense. All in all, thanks for the good time, Secrets. I'm greatly appreciated. I would honestly be surprised if Quarm is targeted. And then Secret says, we have not received any legal filings nor papers delivered. This shutdown is out of an abundance of caution. Shutdown inserted by me. For clarity purposes, was THJ open source? Someone says. It was, and early on I used code I wrote and open sourced. Again, it's best not to lie about what happened here. Uh-oh. Okay. That's the open source nature of the code doesn't matter. Somebody said I heard THJ took real money for in-game stuff. That's a whole different situation. Wrong, but keep repeating it, and I agree with this guy who said wrong. It's not a whole different situation. It might be why Daybreak decided to kick in, but then again, it might not be. And I doubt it is actually the reason. I don't think they're worried about whatever measly money that they made through donations. It could be, though. They could be like, hey, we were allowing this to happen as long as you were just doing it for fun, but now that you're making money on it, we're going to shut down. And if that's the case, that's good news, because Quarm is not making any money. So if that's the reason, then that would lead us to believe that maybe Quarm is going to be exempt from this, not only from the legal action, but exempt from the desire by Daybreak to not operate, which maybe they'll say, okay, you guys can operate. But if it's the reason that most people seem to suspect, which is more they're worried about these, THJ got so popular, they're thinking it was taking a lot of the player base from their recent TLP launch, causing it to fail. If that's the case, then I don't see why they would, stop with just THJ. If they decided to do a course of action like, hey, we need to cut this emulator server down because you're taking too much of our player base, once you start, why not just chop them all, get it all done? When you go to pull the weeds out of the garden, if you're already out in the garden, you're gonna pull them all. You know what I mean? So this discussion, THJ took real money for in-game currency and echoes of memories. Secret says you could get them with no money involved, and Secret says that doesn't matter for a court case. Yes, that is flagrant infringement. I'm not sure what she's referring to. I think she might be referring to our use of the copyrighted material, which puts us in the wrong. Money or no money is her point. And now people are kind of just mourning and accepting. Who knows though? Maybe after this blows over, we can just launch again, and as long as we stay kind of under the radar. But I mean, lawsuits take a while, right? And if Secrets is serious about, wanting to wait until the end of the lawsuit, which makes sense, this game will be shut down for quite a while. People are still going on here. I'm reading some of this here. I don't think we can blame Daybreak here, though. I heard THJ made an in-game currency. Like, what the fuck? Someone said that's a bold-faced lie. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah. I mean, interesting thing is, though, I hop over to THJ server in the general chat, and I didn't see... Huh. I didn't see much talk over there. In fact, I heard they're discussing more Quarm than they are their own server, it seems like. Unless I probably missed it. It's probably like happened long before, right? Yeah, whatever chat was happening in here. I feel like the admins of this server have not pitched in yet. Oh, the owner, Aphoria, is typing. Where is she typing? Oh, okay, she's typing right now. The owner of THJ is typing right now, apparently. Let me see if I can pull that up. Okay. Here we are in THJ. Suit yes, confirmed and no. Quarm shut down, blaming THJ. Well, I don't know if blaming's the word, but I mean, it's not blaming. It's because you're getting sued that we're shutting down. Nobody's making us shut down, but we're shutting down because you're getting sued. And we are blaming you, THJ. No offense. I played on it. I liked it. But we are blaming you. It's because it's you that's been targeted, and that's either because you pulled too many players, which wouldn't really be your fault, that you made a server that's so cool that you pulled too many players, and Daybreak was like, hey, you're pulling too many players, or more at fault, you were accepting money. So, but either way, we are shutting down because of THJ. Blaming, I don't know if that's the word. We are blaming if it's because you were accepting money. And if it's just because you're popular, then we're not blaming you, but it's still, you're the cause, you know. So, yeah, anyway, I don't want to make this video too long, but obviously this does not bode well for Sendrith EQ. I mean, I could go back to P99, and perhaps I will. I'll try to get used to P99 Red again, and try to continue my solo cleric adventure on there, but it's gonna feel pretty flat, to be honest. So I might have to take a break for a while. But in the meantime, I still got a couple videos that I'm going to drop. One coming out very soon, and the other one a week from the time of this one. It's the first episode, and then following that, I'm not sure how the camera's working, which way is the proper way to put my hands. Following that will be the second episode of a solo self-found hardcore mage run. It looks like it might get cut short. If it does, perhaps I'll pick it up on P99 Red. P99 Red, once I get used to it, it's actually a pretty cool place to do a hardcore challenge because you get the huge XP bonus. So you get to progress through those levels faster. Of course, that means you're making less money because you're way less kills to get to a certain level. So money problems can be for real. But yeah, you guys, just thought I'd drop breaking news. Oh no. Let's all hope. Let's all hope. I think Secrets has been very, very politique. Is that the way of like good politics. I don't know. Am I making this word up? I don't know. But you get it, right? She's been very politique. She's the whole way through. She said good things about Daybreak. She's encouraged people to play the what are they called? The TLPs. She plays on them herself, and she has not taken any money. She's not even put up a venue for donations, I think, except once. There was a GoFundMe thing. So that's like, oh, and I think there were a couple times where people like really asked her, how can we send you some money? And she told them how. Aside from that, though, there was no official channel for donations, no requests for donations. Um, and hopefully our player base is small. Maybe P99 and Quarm can just, slip on by. But I don't know. I want to say it's 50-50, but I'm feeling more like it's 60-40, 70-30 in favor of being shut down. Anyway, it's been fun. Um, I have been thinking recently that I'm getting more. I don't talk about it, but I'm actually what people know as a Hare Krishna. I'm an initiated disciple of a guru, and I spent a lot of time. Not so much, but I used to be far less involved with anything else. And yeah, I'm in family life, and I'm kind of relaxing and letting myself enjoy myself. But I've been thinking lately that I might need to quit this game for the sake of just being able to really dedicate myself to that pursuit. Um, and then this happens. So I don't know. If we are done on Quorum, I think I'm not going back to P99. I think Sendrith EQ will be done, and then I will be that much more renounced. And I'll use that time for. I'm not saying EQ is unhealthy, but I will use that time for healthier things. More of my meditation and reading of the philosophy of my tradition, and trying to kind of take it to the next level on that, as I should. But hopefully, I get to jerk around a little bit more. Hopefully, Quorum sticks around, because I'm still young. I'm still young. Anyway, let's take another quick last look to see if anything interesting is happening in the Discord here. Let's get back to Quarm. Let's scroll down to the recent chat. I'm going to scroll around, see if there's any messages from the admins. None that I see. P99 has been around for years, and they have also made zero money on the server. Companies really only care about the free shards that are making real money on the game. Well, that's not true, because companies also care about if there's too many emulators that are taking away the player base from their subscriptions. They care about that as well. A lot of this is people like trying to rationalize from a biased position of, well, Quorum should continue because I want Quorum. And what's the viewpoint from Daybreak? What's the reality where Daybreak would not want to shut down Quarm? And that's the reality that I think makes more sense. But not really, because that you thinking it makes more sense is unknowingly emotionally influenced by your just desire for Quarm to continue. So that's where I think to not realize um, that making money on the content is not the only reason a company shuts it down, especially when it comes to emulated games. Yeah, is just willful ignorance. People think Quarm will never get the okay that Secrets is requiring to turn Quarm back on, which is probably true. The P99 doesn't even really have that okay, strictly speaking. Yeah. Apparently there is a P99 update. Let's go take a visit to that. Someone says, we're not going to die because Quarm's offline. You're not going to die if it never comes back. This free emulator has been awesome. Take a moment to reflect. Alright, buddy, we don't need the emotional coaching. Thank you. We're expressing our feelings about the game in the game's Discord. It doesn't mean we're about to shoot ourselves in the mouth. So I don't need to tell everyone to calm the hell down, dude. Bro. Yeah, people are making their like, it's been great, been lots of fun, like sign-offs. Why did they post this article? Let's see if we can figure it out here. Let me share this window. P99 article. It's from 2015, so it's like, doesn't really make sense here, but let's check it out. Okay. An update announcement from Project 99. We encourage EQ players to read this announcement. If you've ever looked for people playing EverQuest on Twitch, you'll find fans playing on Project 99 servers. The guys running Project 99 are passionate fans of EverQuest. Some of you there's been confusion and concern over the status of Project 99. We have recently entered into a written agreement with Daybreak Game Company that formally recognizes Project 99 as a fan-based, not-for-profit classic EverQuest emulation project. The agreement establishes the guidelines that we as a project must follow, but it will allow us to continue to update the game without risk of legal repercussions. As a show of good faith to support the efforts of Daybreak Games, we've decided to reschedule our expansion release as to not conflict with the upcoming new progression server being released in the coming weeks. We would like to personally thank all the folks at Daybreak and acknowledge how awesome it is for a company to work with and embrace the creations of their fans. This is really something that's unique in the gaming industry, but that little there, unique in the gaming industry, just lets you know how tenuous of a situation we've really got going on here, right? So it's looking like we're probably done. Secrets is going to probably try to get some sort of agreement like that. And it might have worked pre-lawsuit, like back when we started, if she had fleshed out this conversation with them and gotten that written agreement then. But now, like after they attack THJ and then to come crawling asking for an agreement, they're already on the warpath, you know. But who knows? Who knows? There's so many things that can influence it. They could be secretly enjoying playing on Quarm themselves. They could have friendships with secrets. They could just have a general goodwill for whatever reason towards Quarm. Maybe their friends play on it, you know? So, fingers crossed, everybody. Fingers crossed. But that said, I've been rambling on for long enough about this without really a whole lot of news to share with you, you know? So, I think I'm going to end it here. Keep an eye out very soon for the first of my solo self-found hardcore mage videos, even though you know they're not going to get very far, at least unless by some miracle Quarm gets popped back up. I still think it's a good, fun series to watch. I'm not going to tell you how far I've gotten, but I will tell you that I have not yet died, and the videos are kind of trailing behind. I was planning on making these videos so like only drop one a week, so that later on, if I stop recording, then my channel's at least got a video a week coming. So it looks like I'll have, but I only got to 2 before this happened. But anyway, enough of me blabbing. Peace out, you guys. And if we don't see each other again, if this really is the end of EQ emulation, I'll probably send out another video or something. But I wish you all the best in all your endeavors. Much love.